This is Keatske Hawk. This is the fourth seated yoga class for Recovery Cafe San Jose. This is a special version featuring face, fingers, and feet. So while I take a seat on my chair, you can pause the video and go wash your and sanitize your hands, because we're going to be touching our face for the first part of this practice. So go ahead, pause the video, go wash and sanitize your hands, and I'll meet you back here on a chair. Welcome back. Now, yoga is a way to keep energy moving through the body, to release situations and sources of tension, to promote the ability to breathe deeply, freely, easily. And it can be surprising where in our body we can hold tightness, and that tightness eventually creeps in through the main muscle groups and constricts our chest, tightens the belly, and brings the breath up into the chest, the higher chest register, with a shorter, more shallow breath. So even though we're working on the face, the fingers, and the feet, it's all going to be helping the breath. So let's start first by tuning the breathing instrument by sitting still and taking a few deep breaths, paying attention to the sensation of the inhale. With a slight pause, changing gears and exhaling. Once again, change gears and inhale. And once again, exhale. If this pace is uncomfortable, change it to a pace that is comfortable for you. 3 more breaths. For the next 2, I'm going to suggest that you release the muscles of the face and jaw. So breathing in and breathing out, release the jaw muscles and the muscles around the eyes. And this last aware breath, imagine that you soften the muscles of the throat and around the neck. Great. Now let the breath breathe you. That is, don't pay any attention to it. It's going to come and it's going to go, and you don't even have to think about it, just like when you're sleeping. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to massage the jaw muscle. This is a hugely powerful muscle. Allows you to crunch down on things, and it really, at night, if you're tense, the jaw muscles get tight and can create headaches, tightness around the skull, and of course, if you have TMJ, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let the lower jaw drop away from the upper jaw just a little bit, so that the mouth is slightly open but not gaping. And then get those fingers in. You can use your thumb, you can use your knuckle, you can use 2 fingers together and get it into that space in the jaw muscle. Take your time to slowly rotate the fingers around in that jaw muscle. Noticing the sensation of the pressure, but also becoming aware of how strong that muscle is and perhaps how tightly you've been clenching it. So when the jaw is open, you release that tightness and take that little swirling motion, maybe back up onto the hinge of the jaw, not just the jaw muscle down here, but up into the hinge of the jaw that's kind of in front of the ear, And roll the fingers around in one direction. Roll them around in the other. And you can make a wide paddle out of 3 fingers and get both the muscle and the hinge at the same time, rotating in one direction. And then rotating in the other direction. And avoid holding your breath. And release that effort. Bring the hands down to the lap, palms up. So keep the hands nice and clean. Open and close your mouth a few times like a fish. And release, and just notice how your face feels just with that little bit of movement. Releasing tension in the jaw. And this might sound like something odd to pay attention to, but notice if you're able to salivate a little bit better, or is your mouth becoming a little bit more moist? That doesn't always happen, but sometimes when we release these jaw muscles, we salivate a little bit more. Now we're going to bring the fingertips up to the temples. There's a little dent just above the bones that surround the eyes, just above the corner of the eye and out toward the hairline, and rub here. And as soon as you get to that spot, you're going to know that it's the right spot, because it's the one that you say, oh my God, I've got such a headache. And just this time, just let the rotating of the fingers, moving the skin on the bone, slowly in one direction, and then slowly in the other, saying, oh, I've got you. I'm going to take care of you. All of those worries, all of that consternation, all of those thoughts that jump up in my mind that I can't do anything about, I'm going to take care of you by teaching you to let go. Lovely. And bring the hands onto the lap, palm up. And again, bring your awareness to the area around your eyes, so from the jaw up to the temples. It's good to check in and see what's going on when I do each of these little facial movements. I'm going to take the fingers, I'm going to pinch the eyebrows, but not just the eyebrow itself, but a little bit of that muscle at the top of the eye, starting from the bridge of the nose and making about 5 little pinches, nice pinches, caring pinches, not painful pinches, out to the edge of the eye. So just the eyebrow ridge, and moving upwards with the thumb and resisting the thumb with the forefinger. You might notice that there's some parts that feel neutral and some parts that feel tender. And just notice that. Say, oh, this feels neutral. I'm feeling a little bit more tender, maybe a little bruised. So don't pinch so hard. And just know that even here in the eyebrows, you're holding tension, concern, worry. The facial expression of worry tightens the eyebrows, brings them up one more time toward the forehead. So of course, when you're worried, the muscles in the eyebrows draw together up toward the forehead, and that tension may remain. So we release that tension, and maybe we'll telegraph to the brain that there's nothing to worry about. Palms up, hands on lap, and wait. We're going to do a sequence now that I call rain. So we're going to tap the fingertips nicely, gently, from the forehead down to the chin. So just tap, thrumming the fingers, maybe like playing a little quick piano, all the way up at the forehead, toward the middle, and then out to the sides, tapping on the eyebrows, and then under the eye, very gently on the cheekbones, And go up under the bridge of the nose, tap, 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 all the way on the cheekbones out to the ear, around the cheeks, around the top lip, underneath the nose, under the cheekbones, nice juicy part of the cheeks, around on the jawbone, down to the chin, underneath the lip. I'm going to just continue all the way around, up, and just like raindrops, raindrops all over the face, all over the face. Nice tap, tap, tapping down the throat, and then bring down and tap on your collarbones. As you're tapping on the collarbones, make sure you're breathing. And then bring your hands palm up into your lap and just notice what you feel. One last release for the face before we move into the fingers. So we're gonna clap your hands together 3 times, really smartly. And then we're gonna take the fingertips and put them up in the hairline and drop the palms over the eyes. And there may be a sense of, well, you'll see. You'll figure out what the sense that you may have. So let's clap the hands together 3 times and then rub them together. I forgot to tell you that. So rub the palms together, feel a little bit of friction build up, all the way to the tips of the fingers, nice palm rubbing and breathing. Soften the shoulders, even though this is a lot of activity. We don't want to bring tension back. And then now thread your fingertips into the hairline and drop your palms over your eyes. You can drop the elbows towards your chest and you can lean forward into your palms. And be in stillness. One more breath like this. And bring the hands down to the lap. Put the lips together lightly. We're going to inhale and exhale. So inhale. Let the lips really vibrate against one another. 2 more times. Inhale. And last time. And pause. Notice how the hands feel. Notice how the lips and mouth feel. Okay, let's get work on those hands. So first, open the hands really, really wide, stretching the fingers away from one another. Stretch the arms out in front of you, and then flex your fingers back towards your body, pushing the wrists away from you. Shoulders are down, and you're breathing. Nice. You're going to bring all the fingertips together into what I call a little bird beak, and then bring that bird beak back as if you could peck your forearm. So I'm going to bring my arm to the side so you can see kind of what I'm doing here. There you go, yes. And then open wide, wide, wide. And then fingertips together and draw the fingertips toward the forearm. Can you feel a stretch in the back of your hand? Maybe up toward the knuckles, or maybe back toward the wrist. That's all good. And make sure there's no pain. Opening up again one more time. Soften the shoulders. Breathe. Bring the fingertips together and breathe as you bring the fingertips toward the forearm. And release and shake your hands. Shake them out. And flop your hands around. So like you're shaking water off your fingertips. We did this another time. And then wave bye-bye. And water off the fingertips and bye-bye. Water off the fingertips and bye-bye. And then let the hands just hang down. And notice the sensations in the hands and the fingers. Notice the liveliness that you might feel. I've got a little bit of allergies in my throat. Just feel the aliveness that you might feel in the hands and the fingers. You're going to weave the fingers together. We're going to turn the palms forward, stretching the fingers back. So we, pardon me again, we often do this to stretch the shoulders and to stretch the arms. This time I'd like you to bring your awareness to the fingers. So this is all about the fingers. So bring your arms into a position that allows your fingers to experience the sensation of stretch. Nice. And release, and shake them out. I'd like you to take the heels of your hands and pat them against one another. Just pat the heel to the heel. Right arm on top, left arm on the bottom if you like. Don't worry about it. We're going to switch and put the other hand on top. Heel to heel, bringing liveliness into the pad of the thumb and the heel of the hand. And then please flip it over. We have different strength in our right arm and left arm, so you may find that you need to readjust. Breathe, and go ahead, bring the hands, palms up on your lap. One more movement, one more sequence for the hands and wrists. This is to take the hands and rotate them around the wrists. Let's make a loose fist and rotate the hand around the wrist. And then rotate the hand the other direction. All right. So we're going to build on that. So bring the hands, palms up in your lap. We're going to move this to combine hand and foot. And today I've kept my socks on, and you'll see why in a few moments. So sometimes I take my socks off, sometimes I leave them on. It depends. So taking my right foot out and my left hand, turn the hand and rotate the foot. The hand is going around and the foot is going around. And then pause and reverse the direction of the rotation. Breathe. Use your abdominals to help keep you stable. Keep those shoulders down, and remember to keep the jaw and the corners of the eyes relaxed, and then bring the hand and the foot down. Notice the sensations in the foot. You might notice sensations in your hand. The other side. One direction, hand and foot. And then the other direction. And keep breathing. Notice that even as we do these languid movements, these small movements, the body may be responding in a very positive way. And bring the hand and the foot down. All right. Bring both feet out. Make sure you feel pretty secure on the chair so you're not going to fall off. And I'm keeping both heels down because I'm going to use both feet at the same time. So moving the feet, both feet. And the other direction. Nice slow pace so you can really feel what's going on. It's complicated when you're feeling both wrists and both ankles at the same time. That your brain being pretty busy here. All right, here's the trick. Bring the hands in an outward movement. and bring the feet on an inward movement. See if you can do that. If you can, please send me a note because I have yet to master this. Hands in one direction and feet in the other. All right, so that's silliness. And sit upright. Notice the ankles and notice the hands. Okay, so we're not going to touch the face again. We're done touching the hand to the hand. Now we're going to touch the feet. I've mentioned before that we have really healing properties in our hands. Where our energy goes, where our attention goes, our energy flows. So if I'm bringing attention to my feet, my healing energy can move into my feet. And it's a way to bring an energy of healing when I set the intention of healing. To slow down and say, yes, I'm going to touch my right foot and I'm going to care about it. So as best you can, bring the right foot up onto the leg. Try to get the ankle bone so it's not piercing into the left leg. And then hold your foot with both hands. And I suggest putting the socks on because unless you're going to put lotion or oil on your feet, this is a way to let your hands slip over your foot in a nice way. So with the thumbs on the arch, rub the arch of the foot. Just rub from the ball of the foot down to the pad of the heel. It's really noticing how that feels. I'm going to spend a little time on the pad of the foot with the fingers on the top of the foot, trying not to squeeze too much into the foot, letting the thumbs do the work. Now, if your thumb hurts, you hold the foot with one hand and use the knuckles of the other hand. So your thumb doesn't need to suffer for the release of the foot. Now I'm putting my thumbs in the pad of my foot right behind my toes. And I'm pulling down. So I'm just kind of stretching the ball of my foot away from the toes a little bit. Just stretching, kind of might feel pinchy. Might feel like there's some room now between your toes and the ball of your foot. And then from there, squeeze each toe, starting at the pinky toe. Rub your thumb from the base of the toe to the pad of the toe. Each one at a time. You lovely toes, you wonderful toes that help me keep balance. That start at the pinky toe again, that help me be able to walk, to maneuver, to twist, to be able to bend down and squat down. Hold all the toes with your hands and just kind of draw the fingertips along the top of the foot down to the nail of the toe. So you're kind of rubbing very strongly from the top of the foot down, curling my foot in. So, Now you may have a whole different amount of love and type of love you want to give your foot, so just pay attention. Know that there's no wrong way. I'm taking the heel of my hand and I'm rubbing it in the arch. I'm finding some pea-sized nodules in the sole of my foot that need a little bit of attention. I'm going to hold the whole top of the foot. Thumb is in the arch and stretch out the top of the foot and just squeeze the ankle all the way down to the ankle bones and then all the way down to the top of the foot. And once again, saying thank you for doing all you do to help me ambulate and keeping my balance and get around. Thank you so much. And set that foot down. And please notice the sensations in your right foot and the sensations in your left foot. Is your left foot a little eager? Go ahead and bring it on up. Again, make sure that ankle bone isn't piercing your muscle, holding the top, and you're just going to do a straight line kind of from the end, the ball of the foot to the pad of the heel. Each foot has its own relationship with the ground because of accidents, injuries, maybe surgeries. Our anatomy is different, one side than the other. We might have one leg a little longer. Most people actually do have one leg a little longer than the other, but yours might be a little bit above average. Now rub the ball of the foot, pushing up on the ball of the foot with the thumbs. So each foot has a different relationship with the ground because of our knees, because of our hips, because of the shape of our spine, because of our right-handedness, left-handedness. I had to rub the ball of the foot. And then squeeze down. Squeeze the ball of the foot from the base of the toes toward the arch. And just notice the sensations in the foot. The ball of the foot and the arch, creating some space between the ball of the foot and the toes. And now rub the little baby toes from the base of the toe up to its lovely little pad. Starting at the base of the toe, rubbing up to the pad, wiggling and squeezing, each toe getting its own moment of glory, a little bit moment of attention, of energy. And on the big toe, starting again at the little toe. And then that fourth toe. Little toe, second toe, and great toe. There's no limit to the amount of time you can spend. I'm just spending a little bit of time here squeezing just to show you what you can do. You can experiment. I'm going to take the knuckle and I'm going to find those little pea-sized nodules. Some people have plantar fasciitis, and using all of your knuckles in the arch of your foot, running the knuckles up and down the arch of the foot, and then finding those nodules and working on them, or standing on a tennis ball and massaging the arch of your foot. Very, very helpful for reducing and eliminating and preventing. And then hold the whole toe box, so as to bring your hands over and stretch the top of your foot back toward the heel, just elongating the front of the foot. Squeezing the ankle, giving the whole ankle a little love, all the way around the top of the foot, down to the toes. Great. And release that and set the foot down. Take a moment now and just feel your feet. Your hands may be a little tired, a little fatigued from all of the movements and squeezing and rubbing and that they've done. So just imagine some release in the wrists and fingers. You can close your eyes and bring your internal awareness down to the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet and the ankles, from the tips of the fingers, through the length of each finger and the thumb, to the back of the hand and the palm, all the way to the wrist. And that internal awareness all the way from the collarbones up through the neck and the face, the jaw, the surface of the face, the eyebrows, and the forehead. And just take another deep inhale and complete exhale. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, thanking yourself for taking care of yourself in this way. Be well. Namaste.